What's up, y'all? It's Jay here, your accountability coach and ghetto psychologist, and it is my life's purpose to help Black people navigate this patriarchal system of white supremacy. So we're gonna talk about trauma today. I'm talk about trauma. I'm gonna get back to my life coachy, psychologist-y, personal development me type of content. If you go back and look at some of my old stuff. It was more on the I don't want to say I'm not empowering anymore, but I'm holding people more accountable now. I feel like now's the time for me to be the tough love person. I'm not here to be the love and light anymore. In the time frame we need people who gonna really tell you about yourself and tell you what the fuck is wrong with the world so that we can try to get on board to change some things, right? So that's who I am, but I also can't negate, I can't, forget that personal development is very important also in this time. And since we are going through a lot of trauma, if not now, soon be, because this is just the first 6 months of this regime. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's just the first 6 months. And I know me personally, I'm already exhausted. I'm so exhausted. I'm very tired of hearing about what's going on. Every day something is being taken away from us. Every day something is being taken away from us. Every day somebody is misusing their power. Every day. And it's becoming too much. Becoming too much. It's becoming very daunting, it's like a general loss of hope. Even though I haven't lost hope personally, I can tell because I'm an empath, because I can read energy, because I can feel what's going on in the world. I can tell it's a general loss of hope. But I don't want y'all to lose hope out here. Don't lose hope out here because sometimes that's all you got. And sometimes it's the most important thing to have because faith is very important. If everybody believes one thing, it will happen. If everybody believes one thing and do the work, it will definitely happen. So let's do that. Right? And if you're looking for a leader, trust when you hear somebody who sounds like they know what they're talking about. Trust when you hear somebody who you agree with and you wouldn't mind helping them to make their vision come to life because ultimately their vision coming to life will help your vision come to life. We are all in this together. So just understand, be a leader in where you lead at. Everybody be like, it's too many chiefs, not many Indians. And now it's like, oh, where's the leaders? Okay, well, when you have a leader in front of you, just understand where the leader is. Understand who you want to be led by. Understand who you want to help. Understand what leadership really is. Because leadership to me is not. I don't even know how we got on this topic, but I'm gonna keep going before I get into talking about trauma. But leadership to me is not delegation in a sense of I just tell you what to do all the time. It's what are you good at? I want to see you shine where you at. So I'm gonna use you for that. Now, I might make suggestions and to tweak some things. As the leader, my it's never my final say. It's well, actually it is, but in my mind, it's never my final say. I might have to change things if everything is just not right, and I just know I got to just take that step forward as the leader. But for the most part, it's never just my final say. It's the teams. We all in this together. I just so happen to have the vision and you just helping me build the puzzle pieces, putting them together. And again, like I said, in that huge puzzle piece, you're going to have your own section of that puzzle piece you're putting together that everybody knows that you created. And then you can venture off and do your own puzzle piece. Or sometimes the whole puzzle piece itself It's all of us together just making that one big puzzle. And our part intertwines, it intersects. Spirit just put me in the mode to say that. That's so beautiful. But anyway, I want to talk about trauma though, for real. Trauma is something that everybody experiences. It is so hard. It's not hard to define, but it's hard for people to recognize it in other people. And trauma itself is a spectrum because some things, oh, I'm sorry, some feel uncomfortable, but some things that happen to us affect us more than others, right? So, trauma. Now take a deep breath when you think about it. Even when you just say the word because it reminds you. If you're somebody like me, you hear trauma, you start thinking about all the fucking things, right? If you are somebody who's been to therapy, especially, or been using forms of therapy, you hear the word trauma, you can automatically think about something. So it took me there. And that's what it's supposed to do. But a lot of people, they run from it. They don't sit in it. They don't shake it off. Sometimes they can't even think about it at all. It doesn't even come up in their mind. They just hear the word and that's it. Because they haven't opened that side of themselves back up. Because everybody was open. You come to the world open. God made you whole as a baby. You were already open. You were already loved. Just incarnate. Because babies are the most innocent thing. They can't do anything but love you and look to you for nurturing and understanding and compassion and just love, all those things. So you came to the world a baby. Everybody did. We all were that innocent and we were open. And somebody or something closed us up. And most of the time it was trauma. The trauma could be, like I said, it's small and it's big. It's a spectrum. In one of the books I read, oh my God, what's the name of that book? Let me see if I can find. Oh shit, it's on my phone. Oh, I'm over here think I'm recording on my phone. So I was just recording on my phone. Let me see. I'm gonna find the name of this book that I was reading. I think I finished it. I read so many books, y'all. Damn, I hope this don't take that long for me to log in. It shouldn't. Log me in, Scotty. Is this the right account? So I'm looking into Audible to find what book I was reading, but I'm gonna try to talk about it while I'm doing the same thing while I'm looking at it. I don't think this. Oh yeah, it is. Here we go. Library. Happy Days. It's called Happy Days by, hold on, cancel the download because I don't feel like, Gabrielle Bernstein. Bernstein, tomato, tomato. So in that book, she speaks about trauma. I think I did finish this book. Yeah, I did. I did. Well, I only got like 20 minutes left, which in retrospection means you kind of finished. Um, she talks about trauma. She refers to trauma as the big T and the little t, small t or little t. And I mean small t, big T, little t, small, I don't know. Some you know where I'm going. I'm sorry. Smoke a little weed sometimes. Uh, but no, for real, she regarded it to small t and the big T, or little t, big T, whatever. And that's how you have to look at trauma. It could be something as small as, I'm gonna use myself for example because I don't, sometimes it's just best to use you. When I was little, I had a complex about weight because my family would call me fat. And when I look back, when I was a fat toddler, but when I got older, I wasn't really fat. Yeah, I was kind of on the chubby side, but fat, no, I've never been fat. I've never been fat. So I didn't understand why everybody was so obsessed with my weight. And it was something I had to work through, but it didn't take that much work to be honest, because again, I was never fat. So I was just hearing that from my family. And then when I became like a teenager, it stopped because I was never fat before then. I was just a little chubby kid. It was just a little pinch overweight. It wasn't even like that significant. But when I became a teenager and it all filled out in the ways that it was supposed to fill out, nobody called me fat. I was never called fat. And anytime I was called fat, it was just weird because everybody else would be like, she's not even fat. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I was just never fat, and it's no shame against fat people, but that kind of traumatized me, and it did kind of make me like it didn't make me obsessed with my weight, but I wasn't body positive. I wasn't positive about my body. I thought I was ugly because to me fat was ugly. Cause you making it seem like being fat was a bad thing, and I'm just thinking that a bad thing is an ugly thing. Like same thing to me. Shit, you might as well call me ugly, cause of how people was painting the picture of what it was. So in turn, instead of internalizing, and internalizing would be me being overly obsessed with my weight to the point where maybe I even have a eating disorder. I externalized. I was fat phobic. I would make fun of fat people, and I was just like, I hope I never get fat. That was one fear that I had. It was crazy. It was a crazy thing to feel, but my family made me feel that way. And again, I'm not here to down talk my family. Every family got flaws, right? My family still love me. I feel very much loved. I never wanted for well, I never needed for nothing. So I'm not here to down talk my family, right? It's just the ways of the world. Shit. And in that trauma, like I said, I externalized. But it wasn't something that in my mind I would regard as a big T because I didn't, like I said, it didn't really hurt me that much. But it was something that was still significant. I would put it maybe midways. I wouldn't say it's like a little, like the in the spectrum. Say this is the big T and this is the little T. It would be right here in the middle. I wouldn't put it on that side too far, and I damn sure wouldn't put it on that side because the big side because I've been through some real trauma, some big T shit that I'm not even going. I don't have to disclose that with you guys. So I want to just talk about that. So you define whatever your small T and your big T is. So that's the thing about the spectrum because it's individualized, right? Whatever the spectrum is, the worst thing that happened to you and something that was just bad that you still remember to this day that somewhat affected you, but it didn't hurt that bad. You know what I'm saying? It hurt your feelings a little bit. Something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how you define what your trauma is. So when we think about trauma, it's so much more deeper than what I'm even saying it to be. And it's psychological. It traps you in a certain time period of your life too. Because sometimes when you can't move past that trauma, you are going to be stuck in whatever age that trauma happened. Your brain can't conceptualize moving past it because the way our brain works is it wants to affirm who we are. Our mind works to affirm who we are. Whatever situation we find comfort in, it is going to try to affirm it over and over again. Whatever belief system you have, your mind is going to try to affirm it over and over again. So when you have a trauma and a trauma shapes a belief system in you, it's hard to break free from that. So the way it traps you is because again, it's hard to break free from that. It traps you in that age, it traps you in that situation, it traps you. And if it's a romantic situation, if you can't move past that trauma, you're gonna keep finding it in a different person. It's gonna reveal itself in a different way, but it's still gonna reveal itself. It's gonna be like, damn, bitch, you ain't moved past this. It's gonna show you that if you are aware, right? If you can read it, if you can understand it. I really need some water, but I'm gonna tough it out. Um, so yeah, trauma, like I said, we define it. We define the big T, we define the little T. It can trap you into a certain mindset, a belief system, a certain way of doing things, behavior. Trauma can trap you. Trauma is a trap. So it's important that we understand that when something really has happened to bother us, we delve deep into understand how it affects us. What can we do to change the way we think, change the way we look at things, change the way we do things after something has happened that is traumatic? What can we do, right? That is the true way of breaking through. Forgiveness is a part of breaking through trauma, even if it's just forgiveness of self. And generally, that's where we must start. I believe that if you can't forgive another person for what they did to you, there's no way you forgave yourself because it happens almost simultaneously. Like, damn, I let that happen to me. I let that happen to me. Let me forgive me. And then you start thinking about, okay, this person, what is it that led them to do that to me? Because I have to think about what led me to allow it to happen. So let me think about what led them to do that way. And then you start seeing that it's a cycle. Oh my God, this person did that bullshit to him, but that person had this happen to them while they did it. We're all hurting each other. And it's sad to say, it's kind of a natural way of living. Humans are highly emotional. We're probably one of the most emotional beings God put on this planet. He made us like this because he made us in his likeness, her likeness, their likeness, and that is a person, or not a person, a being of love. But love has its ebbs and flows. Much like existence is always changing, everything is always different, but love is always the same. You understand? Even though it's up and down, it still feels the same. Love should never feel painful at all, right? If anybody's associating love to pain, that's just trauma. It's not love, it's trauma that you're associating. And trauma is typically going to come about from people we love the most. Of course, you can be traumatized by strangers, duh. But typically, it's always coming from people that we love because those are the people that literally and figuratively kind of hold our well-being in our hearts in their hands. So, forgiveness. Forgive. Don't forget. People want you to forgive and forget. I don't forget. Don't forget shit. And forgiveness don't mean accepting them back. It just means accepting that it happened. Okay? Doesn't mean that you think it's okay that it happened. It's just you accept that it happened. Hmm. That's what forgiveness is. So people, I know some people went through this little thing real quick. Just a quick sidebar about forgiveness. That's why I can go ahead and put this all together as one video. I only have to put it together. Look at me doing work at the same time. But no, so people were going through this little phase over the last few years where they're like, I don't forgive. I don't believe in forgiveness because people, let me tell you why they don't want to forgive. Because they think that that means you are taking somebody back. They think that that means that you're saying that what happened to you is okay. Hell no. That ain't what forgiveness is, sweetheart. And I don't know if it's because Christianity has painted this picture that forgiveness should be, oh, just love them after they have done you so much harm. Love them, love them, love them. That's what Christianity makes you feel like. But there's love. Love is a spectrum too, and we don't talk enough about how love is a spectrum also. But you have to forgive to seek peace. You have to. Otherwise, you won't ever be at peace. Just seek it. Nobody said you have to forgive. Just seek forgiveness. Just seek it. Just seek to forgive and seek forgiveness for yourself. Just seek it. Just look for it. It'll find you. Might not but for the most part, it will. I think I've forgiven like 90 to 95% of the things that's happened to me. And there are some days where I don't. It's also a cycle. So moving forward, though, I'm not gonna get too far into that because I'm done talking about forgiveness. Um, I've already talked about it in my content. Let's move on, okay? Visit again another day. So bonding, trauma bonding. Let's talk about trauma bonding. Have you ever had a trauma bond? I have. Ooh, it was so exciting. We had a baby. It was terrible. Um, isn't that so? Trauma bonding is also kind of inevitable and it's sneaky and it's sinister. And it's really just you feeling bad for somebody else in a way that you wish somebody would feel bad for you. And you both feel bad for each other. And therefore you're bonded. Maybe you do have some common things and some things that common ground. Might really like each other as a human for the most part. But it becomes deeper just through trauma and not really through something healthy. Like if the best way to avoid a trauma bond in a relationship, because it happens in friendships too, gotta be careful there. So it'll be even more sneakier if it happens on a friendship. But the way I think the best way to avoid a trauma bond in a romantic relationship, don't talk about your trauma for I say the first 3 months, don't talk about it. Don't talk about trauma. Don't talk about, and if you do talk about it, let me be clear. If you talk about it, don't go too far into detail. You can tell somebody when you first met them, I was sexually assaulted if it comes up in some kind of conversation, or you can keep it to yourself for the rest of your life, or you can just decide, hey, I'm gonna say it in a I'm sorry, something on the lip. I'm gonna say it in a more opportune time. But I just feel like in the first 3 months, no, you should in the first 3 months just feeling the vibes, dead ass. And you have to kind of avoid it. And I don't even think even when you share again that you should share all the details. I just don't think you should. I think sometimes we like to tell our significant other. Again, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying as a psychologist in my own personal opinion, my own personal experiences. Don't have to listen to me. But pardon. But I feel like you should not. You should not, or it would be better not to, for better words. I don't like to say should that much. My bad. I'm saying that too much. Because should just means that, yes, you better. No, I think it would be better to just not share that much. You know, let people know who you are, but they don't have to know every nook and cranny. Leave something for yourself. So when you trauma bond in the beginning, and again, I have been guilty, even outside of my baby daddy. Just to be honest, I've been guilty of trauma bonding, and I think that was one thing that I had to break through as a woman is to not let men make me feel bad for their situation so much so that it makes me want to bond with them and fall in love with them. Like I had to really break through of that savior complex, but trauma bonding is just again it's not just extended to romantic relationships, but you're gonna find it a lot more in romantic relationships than you do in just any other relationship. So trauma bonding is typically going to be a very toxic and tumultuous relationship because the foundation of the relationship was trauma. Trauma is not stable. We know that. People who are still going through trauma are not stable about certain things, certain triggers. It's just not stable. So you don't want to build a relationship on trauma. You want to build a relationship on commonalities, but they shouldn't all be trauma. And really, again, like I said in the beginning, it shouldn't even be a basis of attraction. Stop with the should. I'm sorry. Told y'all should is a hard thing. I be trying not to say it. It's best not to. I have to practice this, y'all. I'm not gonna act like I've been a psychologist like practicing forever. I am new to this. Okay. But I'm still true to this. I'm not gonna lead you wrong. So I think the last thing I want to talk about is just finding yourself through trauma because we have to go through it. If God don't make no mistakes, then everything you went through was not a mistake. How no matter how bad it was. You was meant to. It's not saying again that it's okay that it happened. But you have to forgive yourself. You got to forgive your creator. You got to forgive God. You know, a lot of times we don't talk enough about that. Sometimes you got to forgive God too. Because you mad at him for your current situation. You mad at her for your current situation. You mad at them for your current situation. I always regard, I do that. I'm sorry. If you're new here, I like to regard God that way. I say it 3 times as like the Holy Trinity, her, him, they, period. So, I mean, yeah, I said that right. So, we got to learn how to forgive God for allowing things to happen to us too. And I think that's a start too when it comes to, finding yourself and moving through and escaping the trauma. Because finding yourself through trauma is ultimately escaping it. Is escaping, again, like I said earlier in the video, is escaping the thought process that you learned after something happened, the mindset that you gained, the way you look at yourself, the way you look at the world, the way you look at other people. It's breaking through what changed you for the worse. Because trauma is going to do both things, right? It's going to bring out the best and the worst of you. You get to decide though which way you go because most people who went through some extreme trauma, they have alchemized. That's what I like to call it. They alchemized their trauma and they turned it into a positive. They turned it into a win. They turned it into a way to touch other people, the way to gain success, a way to gain love, a way to personally develop. So you can choose for trauma to be your stepping stool to greatness, or it could be your tombstone. All right. It could be what kills you on the inside and leads to even more trauma and leads to you separating from people and you separating from yourself, from you not seeking and having a relationship with your creator and all of those things. That's what trauma does to you. But you get to choose. That's the thing with free will. You get to choose how you find yourself through it, how you escape it. You get to choose. So I hope in this time period with all of these things going on, with this current administration, where everybody is so divided and you're starting to see everybody's becoming more aware, but there's some people even in their awareness fighting against it. You can see it, especially white people. I see it. I see it in them. Every time I work primarily in where I work right now, because I only work part time in the world. I do a lot of everything is this content creation and intellectual property, writing books and shit. That's what I do. And going to school, finishing school, and eventually spending my full time as a psychologist while doing content creation and all that shit. But the job that I'm working now, I work with a lot of white people. Not well. Let me say, the customers that I work with are a lot of white people because I work by myself, baby. But it's just it's exhausting. Their energy is exhausting. It's like they try too hard for me. Or if they don't try too hard, it's immediate resistance. It's very rare that I've met like a white girl or a white dude up there. It's a few of them that I have, but that's just instantly cool to me. Like, and it's not because they're white. Again, because like I said, it's something that I meet that's instantly cool. Because the black people, I'm always instantly cool with black people. I don't know what it is. We just do it. It just is. But when it's coming to white people, it's just like I feel it immediately. Like, the block is there, and it's not me. Cause when I be cool with the white people, I treat them like I treat the black people. But no, I'm lying. I'm lying. I do treat the black people a little bit better. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. But anyway, what was I talking about? How did I even get on this subject? I don't even know how I got on this subject. I'm supposed to be talking about trauma. Oh my God. The neurodivergence is so funny sometimes. Anyway, this current regime, this current administration. Bitch, I went off the deep end about that. That was crazy. Y'all gonna get to see all of it. All the craziness. Anywho, but yeah, so under this current administration, everybody's so divided. And you get to see how people are divided. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And it's just, you get to see who's who. It doesn't really feel good either. And I hope, though, that with the things that are happening and the things that are to come, please try your best to stay positive, to do the work when the traumas come. Allow yourself, damn, that hurt a little bit. Allow yourself to feel, excuse me. Allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to sit in your emotions. But same token, do not turn the little T's into the big T's by not addressing the little T's. So the little traumas can turn into big traumas if they go unaddressed. So you make sure you address those as soon as they come up, as soon as you realize how affected you are. Sleep on it, give it a day, give it a week. But after a week in a way, you can't figure out if something traumatized you or not. And do the work. Okay, don't allow yourself to be transformed by your trauma. And if you do, allow it to transform you in the positive. Because again, you get to choose. I love you guys. Again, on every video, I'm going to shamelessly plug what's coming up. I need to start doing it in the beginning, but I be in my bag. The book is coming up in February. Thorn to the Eye. Oh God. I love that title so much. I'm going to explain soon why I chose that title. But that's coming up in February. And in August, darling, which is just a few short days, it's Leo season officially. Shout out to the Leos in the motherfucking building. My niece is a Leo. I'm a Leo. My daughter's a Leo. We're a holy trinity. We're a holy I didn't mean to say trinity. I meant to say trio, but Trinity came out. We're a holy trio. A holy trio of Leos. Clock it. Anyway, nah. The book is coming out August 8th. I mean, not the book. I'm sorry. The free ebook. My bad, y'all. Free, FRE, meaning you get 5 finger discount. It's all of yours. You grab it for the free ski. It's coming out August 7th. It's going to be called Black Unity. So if you're a black person, which likely you would be watching this video, make sure you look out for it. If you would like to, you can go ahead and sign up for my website, my email list, so you will know first, diggity first. But outside of that, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my day. Give me a drink of water. I'm getting a little parched, a little dehydration going on. And I love you guys if you got this far. Toodles.